If you're going into modern air combat, you want all the latest systems to help you survive the fight and make it home safely. But is the most advanced warplane really the best way for a beginner to learn the basics of flying? That question practically answers itself. So what is the best choice for a beginner, and how can you try it out for free? We'll answer both those questions in this video. DCS comes with 2 aircraft as part of the free download. These 2 planes are the Sukhoi 25 ground attack jet and the TF-51 piston engine trainer, which is just an unarmed version of the iconic World War II era P-51 Mustang. Now the TF-51 might sound like a good choice since it was used for real-world training, but I think you'll find learning is easier with something else. Here's why. There are 2 features on this plane that will make the learning process more complex. One is obvious, the propeller. Propellers add some additional aerodynamic effects that you need to balance on top of all the other things you're trying to learn as a student pilot. One common outcome of these effects is a tendency to do this to first-time pilots. We'll go over these effects in greater detail later on in the series in some videos dedicated to propeller-driven aircraft. This plane also has a feature known as a constant speed propeller. That means you use not 1 but 2 control levers here on the side. To properly explain this feature, we would need an entire video. On the other hand, a single-engine jet is much easier to understand. It has just one easy-to-understand throttle. You push it forward and it gives you more power. That's it. It's one less thing to worry about while you're learning the basics of aviation. For now, we'll go with the jet since that doesn't have any of the side effects of a spinning propeller. In the real world, you might not have the option to learn in a jet, so you would go ahead with a propeller-based trainer. But in DCS, we have plenty of other options. The other feature of the TF-51 which can cause some trouble for new pilots is the tail wheel. With the wheel at the back of the plane, it tilts the nose up when it's on the ground, which can make taxiing frustrating. It also presents some added challenges when trying to land. This wheel configuration is commonly called a tail dragger, but you might also hear it referred to by its more technical name, conventional landing gear. The alternative configuration has the third wheel under the nose, which is called tricycle landing gear. The tricycle configuration is a lot easier for taxiing and landing than a tail dragger. I'll make videos to cover all of this in the future, but for now, we can get straight to flying by just using a jet. Now the Sukhoi 25 is a jet with tricycle landing gear, but it's also quite heavy and is not the most agile of aircraft. Both of these factors can make learning to fly and land quite frustrating. Thankfully, DCS comes with several trainer options and you can try each one for free for a 2-week period. So let's take a look at 4 trainers that are available in DCS. All 4 are terrific modules and all are great choices for learning. However, these 2 have their main instruments in metric units. We'll be using knots and feet in this series, which are the customary units for speed and altitude in the Western world. That leaves these 2. This one, though it's a fantastically well-made module, uses the brakes to turn while on the ground instead of a steerable nose wheel commonly found on modern fighter jets. And its engine makes a sound I find really annoying. Now I know a lot of people really like this trainer, but I'm going to recommend a different plane, the MB339. It's a very stable aircraft that's very forgiving of student mistakes, and it comes equipped with GPS navigation without having to install a separate module. After flying all these trainers, I just found it to be a much easier platform to learn with. So we'll be using the MB339 for this series. Let's go over how you can try it for free. On the launcher, click Try and Buy, then type in MB339, and then click Trial. You'll be taken to the DCS website where you click Trial again. Then you'll be asked to enter in a verification code. You'll need 2-factor authentication set up to use these free trials. Once you have that taken care of, the 2-week trial will be added to your account and is available for download. Now you can get to it by launching DCS and installing it from this icon which has a red one next to it indicating a download is available. You can also restart the launcher and it'll be available to download here under the word Available. Once it's downloaded, you'll see the MB339 icon at the bottom of the main menu colored in. Though the trial lasts for 2 weeks, you can trial it again later. After 6 months, the 2-week trial will be available again. So if you can't get all your training done in 2 weeks, you'll get another chance in 6 months. Now let's learn a little about our new plane. The MB339 was originally developed in Italy as a trainer by Aeronautica Machi and its engineer Ermanno Bisacci. The MB in the name comes from the names Machi and Bisacci. Not only was it a trainer, but it's also a light attack aircraft. So you can mount various guns, rockets, and bombs on it. and it would eventually find its way into a number of nations' air forces, as well as the private fleet of a U.S. defense contractor. In 1989, Machi formed a partnership with Lockheed to submit the MB-339 for the U.S. military's primary training aircraft in the Joint Primary Aircraft Training Systems program. For the program, it got a new name, the T-Bird II. However, the T-6 Texan II would eventually get picked up instead. But I think it's neat to see what it would have been like if the T-Bird II had won instead. And we can do that in DCS. There's even a T-Bird II paint job that comes with the plane. So now it's time to hop in and see for ourselves what training in this jet is like. That's going to be the focus of the next few videos of this series. The first of those will be how we start up the jet. So I hope you'll return for that one, and thanks for watching.